Last week, I attempted to fly from Evanston, Wyoming to Rifle, Colorado in bad weather. This week, I try again, successfully flying from Evanston to Grand Junction, Colorado. The weather was perfect and the scenery spectacular. So, it's a new day and had a good restful stay in a hotel and got all my batteries charged and video offloaded to hard drives. That's really taken a lot of time. Edited a few photos and made a post on Pilots of America. That's where I'm just keeping people apprised mostly of my trip. And I came out this morning. I got a loaner vehicle from the airport. Evanston Unita Airport has been really, really great. Great FBO, real friendly, nice lounge. And if you want to practice landing in ridiculous winds, definitely come here. When I got up this morning, there was ice on the loaner, so I thought, oh great, I'm gonna have to get to the airport, turn the plane around so that the wing's facing the sun, and wait a while to get that melted. But there's no ice or frost on the wing at all. It is dry, so that makes me happy. I don't know. Obviously, the location can make a difference in moisture and winds and all that kind of stuff. Weather can be very localized. This is on a plateau, this airport. You drive up a big hill to get here from town. So anyway, no ice in the plane. I got all the cameras set up. I'm going to go inside. I'll park the loaner and maybe get a Coke. And then do a pre-flight and head to, I'm not going to go to Rifle. I'm going to skip Rifle, it turns out. I wanted to go to Shooter's Grill, but it's like 3 or 4 miles into town from the airport, and I was going to spend the night there, so it would have been a little more convenient. But they didn't reply to my email asking if they were allowing dine-in eating, since some people are still going nuts about coronavirus. And then I posted on Facebook, and they didn't reply to that. So I'm not that inclined to stop and go to a bunch of trouble to get from the airport to the restaurant, since I didn't make it there yesterday and spend the night. So I'm going to fly the same route, but I'm just going to continue and fly over Rifle straight to Grand Junction and meet my cousin, literally for the first time. So, and then that's probably all I'll do for today. So then I'm a day behind, but I'll just continue from there instead of from Rifle onto Page tomorrow. That's the plan. Because after, this would be a pretty good flight, 3 hours. And for me, that's pretty good. And then I'll have lunch with my cousin. And if we don't rush our time together, that's probably a couple hours. And then that's way too late, and I'll be too tired to go to Page. That wouldn't make a bit of sense. So that's the plan. Just stay in Grand Junction tonight, and then off to Page tomorrow as planned, but a day behind. So here goes nothing.
Evanston traffic, Luscombe 1813 kilos, taking off runway 23. I'll be departing the area on a left downwind to the east, Evanston. Man, it's nice to have a big runway, but you just keep rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And I gave it a little more forward stick to keep the nose, or to keep the wheels in the ground a little bit longer, so it didn't just struggle to get in the air. Man, even on a cold morning like this, the altitude is just ridiculous. What it does to the performance. Holy crap. Evanston traffic, Luscombe 1813 kilo, turning towards Evanston, and I'll be departing the area to the east over town, Evanston. See you later, Sean. Thanks a lot for your help. Jill? Can you hear me? I am at 8,300 climbing over the town of Evanston right now, headed eastbound. Yeah, well, I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. Have you been looking at the website on the Garmin InReach satellite thing? You should see a couple dots on there because it transmits my position once every 2 minutes. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll have lunch with her, and I'm just going to stay in Grand Junction tonight. All right, well, I love you, and I will talk to you later. Love you. Bye. Carb heat is off, is all the way in. Throttle's all the way in. Cabin heater's all the way out. This tank's full. This one is getting used up a little bit, and it's on. That one's off. That's what I want. At 2 hours, I'll switch tanks.
I planned a route from Evanston, Wyoming to Rifle, Colorado very carefully because the weather was lousy and it was a bit late in the day. I had to turn back due to the weather, but the next day was beautiful, and so I cut some corners off that planned route and really enjoyed the trip. I flew over the awesome Flaming Gorge Reservoir, along the Yampa River, then past the extremely busy Meeker Airport. Contrary to my initial plans, I bypassed Rifle, then hung a right and flew along the Colorado River down to Grand Junction where I spent the night.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut over through here. I'm going to really short circuit my previously planned route because the weather's great. It's clear. I can see what's ahead. I'll tuck into this valley right there in front of me, and I'll cut. Who knows? Maybe 20, 30 miles, maybe more off the trip. All right, so my planned route, you can see, follow the highway initially there, and then cut a little bit south, but still over a valley, over some flat land, and then over to another road down along the lake. That was for yesterday when the conditions were iffy and I wanted a little bit more safety and an easier flight. But now I can see right where I'm going. The weather's good, it's clear out, so I'm gonna head just south of this mountain range here. And I guess there's a road there too, which is nice. And then I'll cut straight over to Manila. Oh, speaking of which, that'll put me in Colorado. Or no, Utah. I have no idea where I'm going here. Okay, that's right, I'm just gonna cut the corner of Utah, and then I'll be in Colorado there. Yeah, there's the road, and let's see, the river should be north of the road, but it's, yeah. Okay, there's the trees along it. We're coming up on Manila. Actually, I'm about to cross into Utah. All right, so we should be overflying. So we're almost on the border. This is Wyoming over here. This is Utah over here. And Manila is an airport just across the border in Utah. 131 miles an hour over the ground. Alrighty, so I'm just past Dutch John, and the terrain, well, there's a river out here in front of me, and it's got to be flowing this way, because the terrain descends this way. Let's see, Dutch John's at 6,500. Well, actually, let's see. Well, yeah, there's a dam right there, and this is downstream from the dam. Dutch John is 6,500, and let's see, Meeker is a 6,400, so not much less, but then Rifle is at 5,500. So, and I got all these clouds off to my right, but it looks like they stop to the west of where I'm going to be flying down this valley here. So those clouds, for some reason, stopped right here at this valley and are filling all those valleys. So this is good. That makes me happy. I saw those and I was worried for a minute, but I won't need to deal with those. So we got some pretty awesome terrain off to the right here. Almost looks like the Grand Canyon. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And it's not too bumpy, so I'm pretty happy. Yep, and I'm cutting more of a corner off here. It's crazy. Everything is just high here. Everything. I mean, the whole surface of the earth is like 8,000 feet. Ridiculous. Yeah, if you lived here, you definitely want to get a turbocharged engine. Plane with a turbocharger. And I'm going to work my way over to that canyon, which is the Yampa River. Okay, now I got a headwind. But once I get over to the river, I'll hang a left and should have a little bit better ground speed again. But I've been going so fast that it won't matter. Actually, I should have maybe just followed it all the way down there. It's pretty awesome. Oh, there's a little puff of a cloud. A tiny little puff. Whew, that's awesome. We're down to 80 over the ground. Went down to 80, and we should start to speed up here. Oil pressure's good, oil temperature's good, everything's looking good. Now we should start to... Yep, now we're going 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118.
The Yampa River is 250 miles long and is a tributary of the massive Green River. Its headwaters are near a town also called Yampa. The river is one of the few free-flowing rivers in the western United States, so its seasonal flow isn't affected by large dams or water projects. The name comes from the Snake Indians' word for the Perideridia plant, a member of the parsley family. I think my wife might actually have some of those in our garden.
See that, thanks.
Okay, so I'm at 9,000.
And Meeker traffic, Hawker 208, Hotel Charlie, we're on the runway, and thank you for your help clearing in time.
So I'm headed south toward Rifle, and then I'll hang a right, go down the Colorado River, and hopefully have a successful landing at Grand Junction.
Meeker was named after Nathan Meeker. The U.S. government established so-called Indian agencies to deal with the relationships between settlers and natives. Nathan Meeker had been assigned as the agent for the White River Indian Agency. He imposed various aspects of European culture on the natives and, not surprisingly, they resisted. He therefore had the pasture and racetrack for their horses plowed under. They were apparently quite put out with that act, as they killed him and his 10 employees. This is known as the Meeker Massacre.
Climbing at 1,000 feet a minute. And it's not because my plane is super awesome. Okay, so I'm at 9,000.
And Meeker traffic, Hawker 208, Hotel Charlie, we're on the runway, and thank you for your help clearing in time.
So I'm headed south toward Rifle, and then I'll hang a right, go down the Colorado River, and hopefully have a successful landing at Grand Junction. So I'm climbing up a little bit here. Maybe won't go above 10,000. I'm about 10,000 now. Okay, we're at 2 hours. I'm switching tanks. There's that one on. That one's off. And we'll give it a sec here. Make sure things keep putting along as I expect them to. So I've got 20 minutes. I should have 20 minutes left in that tank, but I will not.
Rifle traffic, expect jet 543, 5 mile final, runway 26, Rifle.
I will not switch back to it unless there's some.
C5 forward, pick up point, and we're off the ground.
Emergency, but there shouldn't be because I've got gobs of fuel here. There's no reason at all I should need to switch back to that tank. That one's off, that one's on. This is full. I've got 2 hours
Rifle
plus.
traffic, this is Cherokee 6-4 Juliet, 12 to the east, en route to the practice area, just due south of the airport. Rifle.
I'm just going to move over to this side. Where am I getting the downdrafts, I wonder?
Rifle traffic, Cherokee 6-4 Juliet, at 8,000 north of the field, maneuvering. Rifle traffic.
Rifle area traffic, 5-4 Whiskey, right downwind 26.
So yeah, I'll just stay a little closer to these mountains. And
Despite the fact that I've been flying at 9,500 feet for the past few days, but have barely been above the ground, I really haven't gotten too deep into the Rocky Mountains. That'll be a future trip. Right now I'm flying along what's called the Western Slope. That's the part of Colorado west of the Continental Divide. Despite taking up about 1/3 of the state, it contains only 1/10 of the state's population. It also contains about 70% of the state's water.
woohoo! The mountains are pretty awesome. Cabin heat off. My ankle is burning up. Oh, there's Rifle. Oh well, I had big plans for Rifle.
Rifle is a small town of around 10,000 named after Rifle Creek, which runs through town and empties into the Colorado River. There have historically been intense rivalries in the area between cattle ranchers and sheep herders to the point of killing the animals of the competition. This area was once in the heart of the Ute tribe of Native Americans. Due to the Meeker Massacre, the White River War, and other conflicts, members of the Ute tribe, after which Utah is named, were forcibly removed and put onto Indian reservations. They currently reside in Colorado, Utah, and New Mexico, and number between 5 and 10,000. If one is to read about the history of the United States, one cannot avoid the intercourse between European settlers and Native Americans. Although not all bad, much of it is violent, unfair, and certainly political. While tempted to take the easy way out and simply avoid it, I decided I would try and present whatever history I fly over if I think the viewer may find it interesting, even if it may be unpleasant.
That's the Colorado. Sweet! That's awesome. This is fun. I'm having fun at the moment. Over the highway, that's kind of neat looking, or the freeway. Over the Colorado. It's pretty smooth at the moment. I'm getting close to the end of this leg, and I'm ready to get out, stretch a little bit.
The Colorado River is 1,450 miles long and passes through 7 U.S. states and 2 Mexican states. Its source is in the central Rocky Mountains of Colorado, just upriver from where I am now. The river and its tributaries are controlled by an extensive system of dams, reservoirs, and aqueducts. There are 15 dams on the main stem of the Colorado River and hundreds more on its tributaries. It's a vital source of water for 40 million people. Grand Junction is today's destination. A city of around 60,000, its name comes from the junction between the Grand River and the Gunnison River, which comes from the south. If you hadn't heard of the Grand River, it's because that river was renamed the Upper Colorado River in 1921.
Wow, this is pretty awesome. This is a golf course with a parking lot that's got quite a few cars in it. All right, I'm descending now, 7,300. I want to get down to about 5,900 or so, 5,800.
Grand Junction is in the middle of the Grand Valley, a land feature that will become obvious as we round the corner at Mount Lincoln, just up ahead. The Colorado National Monument is to the city's west and is quite something. A big part of the area's economy relies on fruit orchards, in particular peaches, pears, apricots, plums, cherries, and wine grapes. Hunting and fishing are also very popular, but what is a little more interesting is that uranium mining has also been a significant contributor to the economy. Tourism has also brought money into the area. Not unlike many areas of the country, rich Californians are moving here, driving up property prices and skewing the politics leftward.
ATIS 118.55. Oil pressure's good, oil temperature's good. Man, that's awesome. Looking out the window and seeing that.
Transformation Lima, time 1652 Zulu, wind calm, weather better than 5,000 at 5, temperature 13, 2.07, altimeter 3032, expect a visual approach, landing and departing runway 11.
Yeah, these
Advise
hills,
on initial contact, give information Lima.
these hills were blocking the signal.
Grand Junction Tower Formation Lima, time 1652 Zulu, wind calm, weather better than 5,000 at 5, temperature 13, 2.07, altimeter 3032, expect a visual approach, landing and departing runway 11. Advise on initial contact, give information Lima.
All right, now let's listen to see if there's any activity there. Oh, is that the runway right there? I think it may be. I sure saw that quickly. If that's it. It could just be the road. I don't know.
Ghost 4285 Grand Junction. I'm just letting that TBM get out there a little bit.
Yeah, we were just checking to make sure that wasn't us with the touch mic. Ghost 4285.
A little bit of chit chat.
Nope, I didn't hear stuck mic.
No, we heard it on our end. I wonder if we were just catching something also.
Woo! Ghost 4285 Grand Junction Tower, runway 1 clear takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 11, Skyway 4285.
Grand Junction Tower, Luscombe 1813 Kilo, 9 miles to the east at 6,600 with Lima.
November 1813 Kilo Grand Junction Tower, enter the left down runway 11 Port Midfield.
Left downwind 11, report midfield, Luscombe 13 Kilo. Did he say 13 or did he say the whole 1813? Alright, you know what? If that's my only mistake, I don't know if that's the runway or not. Oh, you know what he said? He just said 1813 Kilo. Okay, that's fine. If he says the same thing again, I'll repeat what he said. I'll try to. So now the airport, I'm thinking, has to be off that direction more. So I'm doing, yeah, I need to keep veering off to the right here. Yeah, that's definitely not the runway, because the runway is skewed a little bit to the right of my nose. Runway 11, it's calm, so I get the huge runway.
Ghost 4285, contact over departure.
Departure, Ghost 4285.
And it's calm, so well, that's interesting. Just completely barren that direction. So I want to get down. I want to keep veering off to the right here. I may be out a little bit far. Well, pressure oil temp's good. So it's pretty spread out. So I'm still, the airport should be directly in front of me. So I want to be at 5,900. I'm at 65, so yeah, keep coming down a little bit here. Don't need to be in a big hurry. So I'm still, what am I, 4 miles? And I don't see the airport, but based on this, I'm going to need to turn a little bit to the right to parallel the runway. So 64. Looks kind of like Death Valley. So, still looking I should be pointed right at it, but I don't see anything yet. And I'm, more than, oh, there it is, right in front of me. Yeah, I should have been paying more attention to where it was relative to the town. All right, so I want to enter the pattern altitude, or I want to enter, I'm on a 45 basically, right now.
1813 kilo, runway 11, cleared to land.
1813 kilo, cleared to land, 11, thank you. So they're not too busy. So he is so not busy that he didn't wait for me to report mid-field downwind at all. Alrighty, see if I can land with stiff legs after sitting here for whatever, 2.5 hours. Oh, what a nice little airport. All right, let's straighten out here. And I'm almost down to pattern altitude. Need to bring it back just a little bit. I got 300 feet or so to go to get to pattern altitude. So there's pattern altitude, approximately. So the carb, got carb heat, fuel's been on the full tank for a long time. So there's pattern altitude now. I'll start pulling the power, start slowing down, and go full up trim. Yeah, I'm not going to go down with that kind of setting. Don't need to make any radio calls. He'll be on final, but he wouldn't have let me. He wouldn't have cleared me to land if somebody else was coming in. All right, carb heat's on, full up trim. Said wind calm, so there's a few bumps coming in there. There's 80. Yeah, I'm not getting pushed around too much there. All right, we're at idle. We're at 75. We got a little sinker there. Let's scoot over to the center line there. There's 70. Not bad at all. I will take it. I will take it. Made a little correction to the left there to try to stay on the center line, but went a little bit to the right and made the first turnoff, or at least the turnoff I was looking at.
13 kilo, taxi parking motor, ground point 7.
Ground point 7. So I kind of didn't hear what he said, but he did say ground point 7. That's 121.7, so I'll get off the runway here. So that's I'm gonna stop here. And it's, 121.7. 121.7. Where am I? Grand Junction ground, Luscombe 1813 kilo. I think I'm at Alpha 3, and I'd like to go to West Star.
13 kilo ground, turn left, it's past the tower on your right.
Turn left, past the tower on the right, thank you. Sweet! Oh, I'm so happy. That was a long flight, and I'm glad to be here and to have made a respectable landing. Not perfect, but not bad at all. Found the airport, entered the pattern nicely.
Grand Junction ground, King Air 21, Charlie Golf. Information Mike IFR to Provo. 21 Charlie Golf, Grand Junction ground, code to Provo Airport. Grand Mesa 1 departure. Turn right heading 150. Then is filed. Climb and maintain 14,000. Expect flight level 240, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 119.7. Squawk 1421. 21 Charlie Golf cleared to Provo via the Grand Mesa departure. Flight heading 150, then is filed. I maintain 14,000, expect 240 and 10. Departure 119.7, squawk 1421.
A10.
That's correct.
That's interesting. Past the tower. Okay, 251. Let's just say stop right there. Almost 3 hours. That's a pretty good flight. Why in the world did I ever think this was a 2.5 hour flight? I had huge tailwinds, and it was 251. And I took some shortcuts. Well, okay. My original flight path was much more direct. West. That's gotta be it.
Grand Junction ground, King Air 21 Charlie Golf with Smoke Jumper Base taxi. 21 Charlie Golf, runway 11 taxi Alpha. Runway 11 via Alpha, 21 Charlie Golf.
Let's see. Where in the hell do I go? Probably up here. Probably not where all these jets are parked. Yeah, and it says West Star right there. Thank you. Thanks, cute blonde girl. Well, I don't know, she's wearing a mask. Alright, this looks like the kind of people that I would associate with. Smaller planes. Look like several maybe I'll go around and come back, point out this way. Actually, you know what? There's self-serve fuel. I'm gonna get fuel first, and then which is what I was gonna do anyway. I just had forgot. Get fuel first, stretch a little bit, relax a few minutes. Then I get a parking spot. $4.30 a gallon. Oh, hallelujah. I'm here. All right, let's shut things off.
Come back next week as I continue going downhill along the Colorado River, flying along beautiful canyons, and enjoying the distinct scenery of the Southwest.